Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you my pick'ems for week 1 of VCT 2026, America's Stage 1. So, look who has finally decided to join everybody else in the world in playing the game. Uh, as we did for the other week 1s, got all the rosters pulled up. I think there's like, now, I think we might have had some of the least amount of changes, really over here in Americas. But let's get to talking about these matches and, hopes, worries, dreams. First up, we have Sen versus Crew. Now, I'm going to actually say Crew first because there's less for me to say as we didn't see them, right? We didn't see them at all, but on paper, I still have a lot of faith in Sadak, Les, MW Zera, Dante, and I've heard good things about Silent. So they should do pretty well this season, or this split, whatever. Um, think that should be safe to say. Now I have a lot of things to say about Sentinels, which is, uh, I think they have a similar quality to Crew, like genuinely. I have faith that John can be pretty good IGL. I have faith in Ewok, really. Redux as well. Then they add Jonah P to the mix. And I think Jonah P's pretty good. I think we'll be fine there. Got Cortez and Jerwin. Now, admittedly, I didn't uh I wasn't familiar with Jerwin's game, but from what I've understood, the highs are high and the lows are low, like a lot of duelists. So I'm not too terribly concerned there. Cortez, I'm a little concerned. I don't know what the comps are going to be. Ewok had some delay getting here, but here now, so that should be fine. Now, my rant spiel that I want to go on with Sentinels is the fact that I don't know why everybody's kidding ourselves. Like the last roster was going to do kind of anything with the way things were going and the decisions being made of roles. Everybody flamed the roster when it came out, was like, this isn't going to do shit. Then it doesn't do shit. And then everybody is like, what? There's changes? Why would they make changes? They said give it time. And, you only have so much fucking time. You can't go 1-4 and kickoff and then just be like, nah, it's fine. Like, trust me, we lost one of the best duelists in the world. We lost a couple other people. Everybody's roles don't make sense. Like, no, we're smoking absolute crack cocaine if that's what you think is just like a free pass for no changes to happen. So, I have a lot of faith in this roster more than what just happened. That said, though, where do they stand? I think genuinely give them all of this split to warm up. I wouldn't be surprised if this is another Sentinels class, like world class roster. Like they still have John. Just give Redux time. Like I think Redux got thrown off because he was supposed to be like promised to come in and start doing shit, and then had him fall back for whatever reason to make narrate duelist. I don't know what the fuck that was up. It's like you signed Redux, you weren't going to have him as second in with Zekin, and then you didn't make him first in either. Like I don't know what the fuck that was about. So I have faith that Redux can pull through for whatever the things are. Jerwin when we get here. Now that said, Jerwin when we get here, apparently is still having like visa issues. So rumor has it that Tarek is going to be playing for Sentinels for this first match. And purely because I think that would be funny as hell if Unk Ass gets in here, major winner, gets in here and does his thing versus Crew, I'm picking Sentinels because that would be funny. And I don't care that much about my points. until I care about the stories more so. I think that would be so fucking funny. Or Sentinels end up doing what Envy had happened last time, and 30 minutes before the match starts, your player gets there. That would also be funny. So I'm going with Sentinels out of pure hilarity that it might actually happen. G2 MIBR. So G2 didn't make any changes. Uh, they kept their roster. Did okay at Santiago, and I feel bad for them because it's like, guys, you keep doing okay at internationals, fourth. Like, come on now, like that's insane. That's where people are like, oh man, you're bad if you didn't win it all, and they went the furthest against the team that actually did it all. So it's kind of funny that this is the narrative of G2. So no changes there to talk about. But then we go over to MIBR. Also no changes to note of, from what we know. Now, for both of these teams, the meta is better. However, here's the big however. If G2 stick to this double duelist situation and keep Baby Bay on Waylay, they are cooked. Um, I've given Baby Bay a lot of passes. I don't have anything against Baby Bay. Think it's cool. I'm still showing these kids how to shoot, right? I think that's fine. I do have a problem with his Waylay though. There's way too many times in Santiago and leading up to it that he throws the refractive Waylay and doesn't wait for it to pop to swing. He's swinging before the person is hindered. Um, so the other thing about that is now that it's even slightly harder to hit the waylay hinder, like you have to prime it first and then throw it down. That gives me a lot of concern. I also get concerned on what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're, well, I take that back. I have a theory on what they're doing. Instead of playing to their strengths, they're acting as if they have such a huge handicap. So, a lot of time is spent going, how do we fit Baby Bay into the comp? Oh my gosh, we have Baby Bay. Da, 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 da. The years that we've had this comp of the players and the boo ba 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 ba. Now we have Baby Bay. How do we put Baby Bay in the comp? I think they worried way too much on that instead of looking at the pieces that you have and going, all right, have Valen, have Jogamo, have Trent, have Leaf, and we just have another player, like a new player now, who they realized for a second played to his strength, give him a scope. But then the meta was just like, you need double duelists. And for whatever reason, between Giacomo and Leaf, they were like, no, it's Giacomo and Baby Bay. That might have been some crack smoking as well. However, if we come back to the good old play what your players are good at, G2 should probably do pretty well overall, right? I think that's where I stand with that. MIBR, similar story. I don't want to see Zekin's ass on smokes. I don't care if he's better. I don't care if his smoking is better. And surprisingly, it's not that Zekin was so bad at smokes. It's that he's just so good on Duelist. The double Duelist was just right there. Um, and past that too. It's funny I'm yelling at Zekin smoking, like Zekin's controllering, for a completely different reason than I've been yelling at people that actually play controller, like Boaster. Um, whereas like, hey, why is my Astra planting? Like, I was so pissed at Boaster. Why is my Harbor planting? Why is my Brimstone planting? So that's why I was mad at Boaster, right? You're the post plant person. Well, and It wasn't the harbor planting thing. I should clarify. Harbor and then not using the cove and then fucking dying on the cross to get there when you're playing harbor. Cove the fucking plant and put it down. Either way, before I start snapping off about Fnatic too much again. Um, Zekin's just that class of a duelist. And while everybody's sitting here, like, oh my gosh, it's just gonna be Neon Waylay, Neon Waylay, Neon Waylay. You can do Neon Jet. Zekin's a good Neon. Aspas is a good Jet. You could do Jet Rays. You can do so many things right now with Double Duelist. And people are like, but the nerf Neon. I plan to make a separate video for this later. Nerfing Neon won't do shit. The amount of duelists that still have play right now, like Phoenix, like you all are finally realizing what I retweeted that I've been talking about Phoenix for for months. People are finally realizing that. Um, Double Duelist is just so fucking free right now. There's nothing to stop it. The state of Sentinels is abysmal. It's it's free. It's free as fuck. Just play almost any combination of Double Duelist with Aspas and Zekin. And then you have Verno on a Silva. And you just win. Like it's not this hard. Let's not overcomplicate it. MIBR? In my eyes, they should take it. Purely because I don't know if G2 has gotten out of the mentality of, what are we gonna do? We have Baby Bay over here in the corner. What are we gonna do? Like, until they start remembering who the fuck they are and, like, playing their game, I'm not convinced that they'll be the same G2. Now, if they pop up this game and they remember, they're like, hey guys, we like do protocols and shit and everything, fine, power to them. But moving on, we have 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses, excuse me. So, 100 Thieves, no roster changes from what we have. Another team I want to yell profusely at. They spent a lot of time setting up Tim, and I'm looking at the comps. The comps don't do anything in hindsight. Like, you should, like, I don't, the win con is kill the other team, really, which makes your play a lot harder. And you'd be like, wait, I thought you liked 100 Thieves. I do. Still rooting for them. But they need to figure out how to set up Cryo as well as Timotino. If I don't see that in this first match, after having faith, the spoiler, I'm going to give them my faith again. If I don't see that in this first match, they're cooked for the rest of the stage. They have the reason, like this is my thing, right? People will be like, "Oh, 100 Thieves," like they finally realized that that narrative of "Oh, 100 Thieves is bad" is like turbo cooked. Like they still do pretty fine every season. Um, the thing here though is that you're not playing to win. You look at other teams, G2. Even while I was just dogging them about trying to, what do we do about Baby Bay? They were setting up Baby Bay because they already knew, like, all right, I have Trent and Leaf and Val in here. Like they know how to set each other and Giacomo. They know how to set each other up at this point. But when you have comps that really give you just one star player, but then the other ones like are dedicating all of their util and everything to making sure that the one player can do everything, like it's 2021. It's funny that that's the VCT format we're going back to. It's so much tougher. Because if that one player doesn't do everything, you're cooked. And then the rest of you are scrambling with the last bits of util you have. So, I want to see, I'm going to be real, I want to see Asuna back on some KO, Sky, fuck it, give me a Gecko again. I want to see that. I want to see that. Just to like, I want to see Asuna Rage back, to be honest, too. I want to see Arsenal Reyes, Tim Wele. You would be surprised at how much mileage they could get out of this. Um, please use Asuna to his fullest potential of being a flex after all these years of playing. Use Cryo as, yeah, sure, Scope Merchant, whatever the fuck. Give him something to play over there, get him all the angles, help him get the angles too, though. Don't just leave him high and dry and go, it's Cryo, he'll be fine. While the other four are just like trying to make sure that Tim has a good dash path and then kind of scramble if it turns out that five people started running at Cryo. Like, I don't know, man. That's my thing. Also have Bang. I don't know why people every time need to be reminded. Bang is a really good controller. Give Bang something to do. Like, give them characters that will actually win the game. You know what? Maybe let Vora get some Sova reps so we can Hunter's Fury a plant. But that's what I mean, though. Like, they don't play comps. Like, think about the ace characters that they had this past kickoff. What character was going to stop the defuse and win the round? They weren't playing comps like that. They were playing fades, waylays, vetoes, Astra, Sage. It was I have to fight all the time, every time. Somebody here, I need to see, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if 100 Thieves go the route of double drone, where Asuna is on the sky, and then Vora is on Tejo. Wouldn't be mad at it. Vora Tejo with Tim Wele, damn sure wouldn't be mad at it. With a veto in the back and an Astro Pool, I would not be mad at the comp like that. But they gotta figure out ways to make it easier for themselves. Then we go to EJ. And this is the thing. I think that people think that this is more one-sided than it is. Also, I don't know what the fuck, what beef Com has with them, but that last time they squared off, that man was hot. That was funny. I don't know who said something to that man. Maybe he was doing it for Boostio. I don't know. That shit was kind of funny. He was hot. Um, that boy was livid. Sorry, it was kind of funny just thinking about that. But it's not. I think that this is a way closer game than people are expecting. Um, I think I still am taking 100 Thieves. Digizing Yoru nerf, but I think Potter is pretty smart. Like I feel Potter can look at it and go, Yoru's just a little worse. A lot of people think that it's a lot worse. It's just a little worse. I promise you, that's not as big of a change as people think. And Digizen is pretty good on Yoru. Digizen is also pretty good on Neon, last I remember. Fuck it, give Digizen Jet again. Think that'll be fine. Calm Sova, fine, perfectly fine now. I think Vito has a little bit more play with it not being Yoru, so maybe they'll run that back again. State of controllers, I think Cupa should be fine. So I think I still want to give it to 100 Thieves just to keep a little bit of faith. But if I pick EG on like other like 50-50s moving on, yeah, I don't think it's that clear cut. Then we have Envy Loud. Envy, they, as you know, they had Demon 1 at the very last game. Don't know what's going on with their roster really. Everybody's like, Exter's working at McDonald's now because Yoru nerf. I think Exter is smart enough on the character to realize he can still play the character. He's played it in much worse states and done extra shit. However, that said though, Exeter had a really not good kickoff, and that's on broken Yoru. So yeah, that's a really big one. The other thing is, I think that they'll surprise everybody because they have fucking Demon One and Kesnet on the team together. Now with that though, they better make Demon One go on Chamber. I think in your last game, like here's how do I say this? I was going to say how do I say this nicely, but I don't think I care enough to. I'm just going to repeat what I said on that last week of kickoff. You know how shit your plans have to be for you to sub in somebody that can play an auto input sentinel to a high degree on controller? Do you understand how terrible your playbook has to be to get a sub that goes onto controller? The thing that you need to know the most timings and everything of a playbook with, next to Initiator. Well, yeah, following behind Initiator. I guess technically Duelist, but you can slot that in pretty well. Initiator, Controller, Duelist, Sentinel. You get a sub that plays a Sentinel very fucking well after no longer having, SpaghettiOs, your Sentinel player. And you slot them in to controller while you have a controller player right there? Your playbook is horrid. Your playbook has to be utter dog shit if that's the case. Like, that makes no sense. That said, if Envy don't do that stupid ass shit, and remember they have Exter, Kesnet, and Demon 1 on a roster, mainly Kesnet and Demon 1, and play to their fucking strengths, they should win. But if their playbook is so dog water that we come into Demon 1 on controller again, instead of a Sentinel that now should have a much better time now that there's not two Yoru flashes coming his way. However, Neon is still a hassle, and Waylay's still a hassle. But you're playing a Sentinel that actually can do something if a Waylay jumps on them. Play the Demon 1 chamber. And it should be fine for the split. But something tells me that they're hard-headed enough that they're still going to not do that, and we're going to look at this and go, what the fuck are you all doing? However, they might get a free pass to do some goofy shit, because they're going into Loud, who keeps making changes nonstop. Luxo looked good. That's kinda where I stop right now. Apparently they were like, we might drop Verdi, and they didn't do that. Apparently, what was it, assistant coach has gone to IGL Erdy, is that correct? And then they got Bati as an assistant coach. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over here. And I think they don't know what the fuck they're doing over here. They benched Pencata. I don't know what's going on. That said, Envy has Demon 1 and Kesnet on one team together. As long as you give them both a way to frag, you should win. Right. Right. Cloud9 left. Let's go to Cloud9. Right? Cloud9, they now have an assistant coach. Cool. Uh, think genuinely if there was a time for Cloud9 to look a lot better, it's probably right now. Like, this is probably their best time to do it. And then Lev. Remember what I said about how I just don't buy into this whole once a player comes in, it just magically fixes the team, and then a player came in and it did not magically fix this team? Remember when that happened? And remember how we keep doing that ever since that we heard that you can fucking wait until a player is 18 to get him on the roster? Like, insanity. And when that shit did not happen, it just, hey, there's problems here. I think Lev might have taken the time to figure it out. Maybe. But I think Cloud9 has already figured out their system, so should be looking like that. Then finally, Furia and RG. Okay, Furia. Um, I had my doubts in kickoff. They proved a lot of us wrong. I was worried because of their off-season performance was dog water. They stepped up like a motherfucker in kickoff. They went out very quick in Santiago, but the matches were close. They face NRG, who I think the meta just favored the fuck out of them. Let Ethan play Sky again. That is now buffed. Why is Mata still blue? However, they just got rid of Strong. Don't know how much that means. Kiko is pretty flexible, and for them to have a new player that is this flexible and do as well as they did, what was it, third? Think they're fine. I think the meta makes things fine for them. Uh, Honestly, I'd like to see them run Sky Silva on a lot of shit. That's what I'd like to see. And then figure out what Mata, Kiko, and Scuba are doing past that. Yeah, that'd be nice. So between the two, this is probably the toughest one out of these calls this week for me. Furia NRG. Furia NRG. Hmm. We keep doubting Furia, and it's backfired several times. But they did leave immediately out of Santiago. I think you have to go NRG here. I think I have to go NRG here. But I think is that their only one that I think that I have to pick them for? Like out of all the other teams, well, I guess we'll see. After this week one of matches, we'll see how the rest of them are. But yeah, save that, get it all locked up. Games are imminent. Those are my pick'ems. Those are my rants. Yeah, I think that's what we're going with. So, if you liked the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.